Hello everyone, it's Peg, and this month on Art Joy is Sharing, we are focusing on watercolor. And today on Art Joy is Sharing live show, which is the sister channel where Shell and I do a live stream each Thursday, 10:30 Central. We were doing pots and powders. Shell was using her powdered pigments. I think I've gotten rid of all of mine because I wasn't a fan. And I do have these pots. These are H2Os. I don't even know if they sell them anymore, but it's water soluble and it's in a pot. I also had some pearl powders from Ranger, and I did end up mixing up a little bit of that and applying it to some paper. You'll see that later in the video, but right now all I'm doing is a little bit of embossing. I have the Versamark ink out and some of my favorite stamps. I'm just going to stamp some imagery onto some watercolor cardstock so that I can colorize it, right? Yeah. So this is a stamp from, I think, Penny Black. And the floral one, I think, is from, Magenta. But some of my favorite companies, Penny Black, Magenta, they've been long time favorites for me because I like rubber stamps. I don't really care much for silicone stamps. I like the red rubber stamps so that you can use them with heat and embossing and all kinds of things. So got my embossing done, and now I'm just going to wet my heart and start applying some of this H2O, and I decided that that was too dark a red. I wanted something brighter. So I'm just going to pull some of that up. I'm showing people that I have a dish from IKEA that has 3 different rinse trays. And I use this, because you have the dirty water and then the rinse water and then the clean water. So I'm just going to get some of this color down into my background. I will end up trying just to dip into some of that pearl powder and apply it. It is very granular and it does not spread, so that is not the way to play with that. I've done it where you just dust it on some embossing powder and it turns out beautifully because it has a binder in it that sticks to the embossing powder. And that's probably what I should have done, is just wet my paper and had it adhere to that. But no, I was messing around this morning and decided to do something different, So you can see that that was not as successful as I had planned. But I'm chatting with the people in the audience and, just having a good time with my pots of paint, getting a variegated color going because I'm using both the dark green and the light green, and then I'm going to get this purplish blue tone to do the shadowing on that vine, and I will be happy with that piece. So I'm going to stamp a few, these are collage stamps. I have had all kinds of rubber stamps in my life, and these collage stamps are some of the first stamps that I got because I really enjoy collage and mixed media and assemblage, all that kind of stuff. So I, very early on, had gotten a lot of stamps from Stampers Anonymous because they were one of the first companies that had all of these collage type stamps. I did end up getting some from other companies, but many of them went out of business over the years. So, yeah, it was too bad because I really enjoy working with these collage pieces. So I'm just going to colorize these embossed images with these pots of paint. Now I'm going to mix up a little bit of that powder and just apply it to some black paper. And I can cut this out and use it for something else later or use it for a background or something, but just showing you that you can mix that stuff up and use it in a water-soluble form. So because this is kind of like Metal Gears, I thought that was kind of brassy looking tone, and I used it as a paint to paint this image. Sorry guys, my phone keeps going off. I need to turn it off and not get all those notifications. So you can see on this one I am going outside of the image because I want color not just on the image itself but on the exterior of that. And then, you know, when you add it to a page or a card or a tag, you've got those colors already there. Next up is this butterfly image, and I'll come back to that one because it's drying down. It's quite wet. So I'm going to add some of this brassy tone once again to some of that background stuff, and then I'm going to get some turquoise color and add it in on top of that gold tone. It'll turn kind of greenish. I thought maybe a reddish tone in the background. Wasn't real thrilled with this one. My color choices could have been better, but you know, it was kind of an off day for me, so I thought I was doing good creating anything. So I'm adding more of that red tone into the background. Decide I really don't like it, so I'm going to change it out to some kind of purple just by adding some blue in there and do a little bit of splatter. So I'm mixing up some more colors, and you don't have to use this stuff directly out of the pot. You can mix some of those colors together and make your own colors. But I do think they still sell this stuff. I'll try and make sure that I have it linked in my Amazon store for you if I find it, so that if you're interested, you can get it too. The colors are gorgeous. They're bright and vibrant, and I like them. So, yeah, pots for today. Those are my pots and my powders. If you want to play along with us on Art Dry Sharing, you can use our hashtag AJOS watercolor, and then we can find what you're doing on our challenges. And you can also join our Facebook group if you're not already a member. We would love to have you there. All you have to do is answer a few simple questions, you know, because we have to make sure you're not a robot or, you know, doing something we don't really want you to do. So I was going to punch out a heart, but it was really in the wrong spot, and I should have punched the heart before I did the stamping, because if I had punched the heart first, I could have had it in the right spot, and then I could have stamped around it, but I didn't, so that's okay. I just used a punched heart, drew it on my card front where I wanted it, where I couldn't get the punch to reach, and then I cut it out with a craft knife. So I'm just going to get a nail file and clean up the edges of that heart. So I'm showing you how you can use that paper for other things. And I'm going to put some other paper behind the heart. So I'm going to get a raised card front. I'm going to put some dimensional adhesive behind that. So I'm using a stencil. These stencils are from my friend Carla McCants at What If MC. She has an Etsy store. If you're interested in any of her stencils, you can go check it out there. And I'm just using it to get a little bit of texture on that paper that's going to go behind the open heart. Now I could have used an acetate and dropped some things into the opening. I didn't want to go that far because it's an hour-and-a-half show, and you know we were already running short on time for the show, so I just want to get something finished so that I've got a finished project to photograph at the end of this. And there I'm putting on the tape. Gonna try out my paper. Didn't think it was quite dark enough, so I'm adding some more of that tone. Yeah, that's better. And then I'm going to cut that down. So we will be doing watercolor all month long, and we will be using different things that we have in our stash. So check us out. If you have not already subscribed, subscribe and hit that bell for notification. We would love to share with you on Thursday when we do the live show, and that would be on Art Joyous Sharing. So subscribe to that channel also, and then check out my friend Chelsea C. She has a channel where she does this sort of thing too. What we typically do is the hour-and-a-half show, which is a live show. And if you're interested in any of this stuff in the live format, go check out that channel. If what you want is a speed version of the video, then I put that on my channel, and Shell does a speed version on her channel also. So you can find that on each of our individual channels. And yeah, see the fast down and dirty part of the show. So that's about it for me. I'm just finishing out some of my cards. Gonna do a little more stamping and take some photographs, and that's it for me today. Thanks for being with me, and I will see you again soon, guys. Bye.